looking at TV. I just feel like it's going to be a whole new thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even viewers that watched the show before, there's just a lot of new energy to it. So
okay, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
And then you were able to get everything in before this hit, right? Is that how?
Yeah, because we shoot everything out, the year before. So
okay,
and it's so funny because people are just like, well, when's the show coming out? When's the show coming out? And it's just like, the show comes out kind of like the same time, like Showtime puts their new shows out in January. So our first year was January. Last year was April. This year now is going to be June, but it's still, it takes like a year's time to do that. So, we're lucky that we finished in December and, the show is finished. So our full season will be out.
Oh, good. Okay, that makes me happy too. This is a question I personally wanted to ask you because, I haven't, it's so good to see your face because I just realized I haven't seen you since we did reading of your pilot that you wrote, your screenplay, and on the Bank Street.
Yeah,
that's how long it's been.
Been a million. Yeah, well, we did at Bank Street, but we also did it in because we did another reading of it. And you are amazing. It was at
Cherry Lane.
No. It was a place that just has like studios. That I rented out, and I can't think of the name. Champion?
Oh, I can't think of it either.
Champion.
Oh, Champion. Okay.
Yeah, we did it there. So
wow.
Me, you, Clark,
yes,
Christopher, just a bunch of people.
I know. You have so many hats, and so this is the question I wanted to ask you is, when I was thinking about today, I was like, well, you write, you direct, you act, even your fashion. Where did the love for all that come from, or how did you even? It started with fashion, but how did that even come about? Did you grow up in an artistic home?
I'm blessed.
Amen.
I mean, that's really it. I'm blessed with a lot of gifts, and they are all creative gifts. I can't say, because my parents, I would say my family wasn't, my parents weren't people that were in the arts at all. But our, parents made sure me and my sisters all play instruments.
Oh, nice.
And, they never said no to us. So anything that I could think up to do, they were, behind it. I was always that one in the family that just made stuff and just did stuff. It's like, well, yo's doing that, whatever that is. It's just like, they allowed me to be creative. And didn't, force me to do this or that or whatever. I know at one point, my dad wanted me to be an engineer, and I was just like,
oh, wow. You like, no.
I better figure something out because they're going to pay for it, but I can't do that. So, I ended up going to school for fashion business, and, and that's what then brought me to New York and the whole fashion business, and I made clothes and everything while I was in school. And then, that then it rolled into acting, and a lot of that is New York City and opportunities. But once I did break as an actor, and I look back on my life, I do feel that I was blessed with gifts that acting and writing and directing all encompass all of them. When I develop a character, that character has a look. That character wears a certain smell. That character her hair is a certain way. All of that stuff matters. What she listens to, what that character's music is, that for me, it keeps me in the right emotional space. Because I do use music for everything, for writing, painting, acting. I use it for everything. But I do feel like my whole life has been a journey that is, I was put here for a reason, and I feel like I don't have a lot to do with it. It's
bigger than you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because I feel that what I do is I bring people to life that are next to you all the time that you don't necessarily look at or listen to. I bring those characters to life. That's why.
Well, that's what I love about the characters you've chosen. which is one of the questions I wanted to ask
me.
you. Well, they chose you. You're right.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to ask you, because, you know, you're an indie favorite who's like started off in the world and branched out. Now you're on this hit show. And one of my favorite performances of yours, and I think I told you this when I first met you, is that even before I knew who you were, The Stranger Inside, it was like one of my favorite moments. And I don't want to give it away for people in case they haven't seen it, but you have to look for Stranger Inside and see Yolanda. And there's just one moment where the breath is just, and I knew how truthful you were in that moment. And so,
you know what? You almost gonna make me cry now because I remember that feeling.
Look at
it's so weird.
I didn't mean to make you cry, but I'm just telling you because the way it hit me, and the way it hit me, and the conversation we had, and how you touched me so much, and how I was like, I need to know who this woman is, because the way you bring these women that you say yes to alive, and I'm so glad you said yes to her. And one of my questions was, when you read a script and you look at a character, what is it for you to say yes? Because the women that you bring to life are very beautiful, specific women that we need to see more of.
I gotta learn something. I have to feel something, you know, in what's on the page, what the character's doing, what the story is. But I have to learn something. With Treasure and Stranger Inside, which is to this day still my favorite piece of work. I mean, that was my first thing. That was my first film. So I had no expectations. I had no, it was just all discovery. It was all discovery. I discovered some shit in me that I didn't even know was there. You know what I mean? Because it was so funny when that movie came out, so many people were like, oh, I didn't know you acted shit. I didn't either. You know what I mean? It's like,
Amen.
all of that just came out and it was there. But that's why I say, like, all of this is not me. It's like I am on, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I mean, and that's the reason, you know, some other actors didn't get that part because I was supposed to have that.
You were supposed to play a part. Oh, gosh, that's one of my favorite. If you guys haven't seen it, Stranger Inside Treasure is one of my favorite
you know what?
characters you've done.
Me too, and it's so crazy because that's an HBO movie, yet it's nowhere on HBO. It's not streaming. It's not for sale.
We got to figure out how to make that happen because that piece.
I mean, I've tried over the years, and it's just like nobody seems to be very helpful with getting it on the air to stream because people ask me about it all the time. People know of it, and it's one of those things where it came out, and Oz was on, I think, still at the time, and you know, it was before all the internet stuff, so people, you know, that was not in. We don't have that to look forward to helping us, and then 9/11 happened right after it, so it kind of blew up everything because you had a bunch of people that, well, actors, actresses that people didn't know, and nobody ever got the time to get to know them. So, you know, after that movie, it was almost like starting over again, you know, as far as work. But I was lucky to get Antoine Fisher right after that. So, you know,
I mean, you worked with some of the best. I mean, Violet Davis, Bassett, like Denzel Washington. I mean, like I just could go on the list. Yes, like do you have a favorite? I don't want to put you on the spot or like throw somebody under the bus, but do you? What's your favorite experience so far? You know.
Well, I mean, it is Stranger just because it was the first of a lot. A lot of things for me. I loved working with Baz Luhrmann a lot on the Get Down. You know who else I really love? It's Denzel. I thought, you know, I got to say actors, directors got to be my favorite people because I feel like we understand the language of acting and, you know, just, you don't have to overtalk everything. We understand how to get to that emotion. We understand that it is actually, you know, it takes steps to get to an emotion. You don't say just cry. You don't say just this. It's like, we have, you know, this is a machine. We have to get that thing to that point somehow. You know, Denzel was great, but also what did I want to say? David Mamet.
Oh, nice.
Working with him. I love.
Okay. And then what's the? Give me one reason. A reason why I love your response to that.
You know what? He was the first time I got to meet with him was early on in my career, and he, I went in for the part. I went in for this movie of his, and I'm getting ready. Like I got the audition sides. Let's just say that. So I was ready in character. Da 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 da. He sat down with me and we had a conversation, and I was like, "So that's it." Like that's it. Because I had never, gone in for somebody and you don't do the role. They just talk to you because I felt at that point, and the next person that did that with me was John Sayles, and it's just like I feel like then the director's done their homework because sometimes, especially at this point, if you are asking me to come in or put myself on tape for something that is already on my reel or some version of that, or you can't figure out as a director that if I can do that or not, everybody's doing work, but it's like, I feel like y'all should, directors should do their work as well. It takes a load off of us because it's not just doing the work as far as like, doing an audition, it's the nerves. Because auditioning to me has nothing to do with acting. They're two different
I agree.
things.
They're two different things. Yeah, I still can't do it. I don't like.
No, I mean I suck at auditions. I do.
Me too.
It's just like going on tape. You then got to be the lighting person, the camera person, the editor.
Yeah.
And you don't get notes, so you're just literally kind of blindly sending in a tape for a job, and it's just like, So if somebody can sit down or Skype with you and have a conversation, know your work and get whatever feeling they want or need, and then maybe like even just read something with you there, but it just kind of takes all the nerves out of it, so you can then get more of a natural response out of an actor.
I hear that. I mean, I think that's real, and it brings me to my next question of with utilizing the power of no. With auditions and getting scripts and reading, have you been in a situation where you utilized your power of no and said, okay, you read something and you're like, no, I'm going to pass? Or have you been, one of the, okay, go talk to me, yes. Because I was going to say, because the parts you've been saying yes to are amazing, but like now I'm like, what? Utilizing that power of no, and have you been in a situation like, what the fuck? Why did I say no? Can I curse on this? Well, can I say no to this? Or should I? What kind of, with that? That's because a lot of us artists go through that as well. So how does that hit you?
Well, I've, it's always nice to get offered something, but when the breakdown is nappy-headed, missing teeth, crackhead, I'm going to say no. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say no. Because no, and not well-written, it's like no. That's what you offering me? No, thank you, And then also things like hit shows that I don't necessarily vibe with because, I feel like one thing as an actor, you got to know what it is you are selling. And if something is not, the world that you feel that you necessarily see you or your characters in, I don't, you might not be doing yourself a service by taking a job or doing a job that you might not do as well as somebody else.
Yeah. So you're not saying yes to just everything and anything for just because.
Yeah.
Okay. And so talk to me about this latest project, Bull.
Oh, yeah, Bull.
I know you have other projects, but talk to me about Bull, yes, because that hasn't come out yet, right?
No, dude, May 1st.
Yes, that's what I thought. Wait, May 1st? May. Okay, wait a minute.
June is next. We are in May.
Listen, because that's that quarantine life. Some days I wake up, I'm like, is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I'm like, what time is it? What day is it? Is it August? What's going on?
Is it Christmas?
Yes, exactly.
Where are my gifts? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's how the days have just blend in. But talk to me about Bull and let people know where they can see it, because I love the fact
Bull is online now.
Yes, on all platforms. On all platforms, right?
Yes. You are funny. yeah, so Bull is Rob Morgan and Amber Heard, uh, and in a film by Annie Silverstein. Um, and I got to be in it. Got to be in it a little bit. Um, I came like last minute into the film because Rob Rob really referred me for the job.
Nice.
As his ex in the film, and it was a my first chance to get to work with him because we've known each other for years, but never had the opportunity to work together. So I was like, because it was right before we started, I think season 2 of The Chi, and and then it went into like a couple weekends. Well, when the show started, but I got to figure it out in my schedule and go to Texas and play cowgirl for a little bit.
And what's it like working with Rob? I haven't seen Rob in a while. The last time I saw him was at Dance Africa last year, which we can't do this year because they canceled everything because of the quarantine. But Dance Africa is one of my favorite places to go, and you just see all the Black Mecca. And I ran into him when we stood like in the middle of Dance Africa and talked for like 20 minutes to catch up. But of course, I haven't worked with him yet. He's a peer, but I haven't worked with him. What was it like working with him? He's a beast. You guys together are a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I'm writing something for us.
I love that. Yeah, the good chemistry.
Yeah, totally good chemistry. I've always admired his work a lot. I felt like he and I are kind of like the male-female versions of a certain kind of actor, and it was he's just very truthful. He's funny, and he goes 200% into the work. So I admire that, and I don't know what else to say. He kills it in the movie, though.
So everybody out there, make sure you check out The Chi and check out Bull too. Make sure check out both of them, and then we're gonna try to figure out a way to get The Stranger Inside Out because that's
talk to the people. HBO,
I know. I mean, I want to call HBO or something and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, my girl's movie needs to be out.
It really does.
So you were saying you were writing something for you and Rob, and so this project that you said earlier at the beginning of the interview that you're working on as far as getting backing. Now this is something you've written yourself, and can you tell me a little bit about what that's about? So this is the same project.
Yeah, you read
it. Okay, nice. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah.
Amazing in it.
Thank you. So that's good. That's good because I really like that script. So that's good to hear.
I do too, and it's it's one of those things where it's interesting what I'm running up against.
In what ways?
Well, I feel like really what I put up yesterday with Malcolm X, Black women, just not respected in this business, and I feel like certain stories are not necessarily revered and supported in this business a lot of times. I will say, and the script, the Black couple in the entertainment world, it kind of goes along the lines of what was the Lady Gaga movie?
Star is Born?
Yeah, it has that kind of feeling to it where there is somebody, the male figure is a bigger name at one point, and then that transfer of power kind of changes a little. But it deals with a lot of things, having a Black couple in the arts, and why that kind of story does not, because it's not told in a stereotypical kind of way. The story itself, I find it very interesting that we can see Black people in jail all the time, Black people on drugs all the time, slaves all the time. But seeing a Black couple in the arts, working, living, loving, having issues in their marriage. We had a marriage story, so we know white people can do that. Why can't we? Is it that people are scared to see us like that? Without the stereotypes that they're used to. I do feel the story does have a foreign film feel to it, but we're not stupid. give us Americans, Black Americans, a story, seeing us in the way that we live.
I know. The thing that frustrates me is how, you know, the other side, the people on the other side act like we don't have normal lives, you know, and like, especially
Black
women. It's like,
but
yeah.
You can't, you know. I mean,
yeah, it's like, oh, you get married, you have problems, you guys live your life, you travel. Oh my gosh, you guys you run a company together, you guys love each other. You guys have a family, and I'm just like, well, like I don't how you live it. But it opens my eyes to how certain people can just be just in their bubble and not have anything else or anybody else in the bubble, whereas we are forced to have to be in everybody else's bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We always have been. We always have been.
Yeah.
And you know, and it you know, it's not even a trickle down thing, but in the way of selling a film and getting a film made, it's like, you know, money people look at the end result, you know, and then you're going to sales and distribution people, you know, first to see, you know, will this thing make its money back? And if you then have, say, white salespeople saying, well, we can't sell this, you know, because distributors aren't going to pick it up or whatever. It's like, well, if we keep going down the same path, we're going to keep getting the same reaction. You know, if the salespeople and distributors are not Black people, you know, in understanding how Black people, you know, consume film and TV and what images we do like to see, it's like you keep putting out the same thing, then we're going to keep eating the same thing. If you give us something different, and you know, and they keep saying like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? You know, with like saying the Black Panther, Get Out, like all these things. You know, they can say the genre movies or whatever, but you know, give us something different in the right way. You know,
and that's the thing. We're hungry. A lot of us are hungry in the community. You know, we may not know exactly what we're hungry for. Yeah, and then I feel like people may not know what they're hungry for, but the fact is that we do want something different because when it comes out, we eat it up. You know, and we're tired of seeing the same thing. Especially Black women.
We can make some shit go boom, or we can make some shit.
I mean,
you know,
we
can do that. We got that power.
And we keep getting overlooked. So I love the fact that you're utilizing your power. You know, you writing a script.
I'm trying.
But you're doing. I mean, like it's like no matter what, you're doing it. It's not like it'd be different if you said to me that you tried and you stopped, but like you're actively still trying to find ways to maneuver, and it's gonna happen because we always make a way. You know what I mean?
Yo, you just said it. We always make a way.
Yeah.
And in my case, it's just sort of like I don't have any other option.
Yeah.
I got a purpose. Y'all are the purpose.
I love that.
Truth.
I love that. And so you're gonna you want to direct this one as well, right?
Yeah, and that's been an issue. I guess, you know, people think only Clint Eastwood can do that, you know.
Oh no, but it's hard to. So when you're coming, and this is good for me to learn too, because you know, as I'm learning to write for myself. But for you to go into a room and say, okay, I wrote this piece. I want to produce it. I want to direct it, and even with that,
well, I mean, half of the time you are producing because you're the one driving the thing. You know what I mean? So it's not even producing because you want to. It's because you know, you gotta find this money somehow. So if people know my face, I can get into rooms and talk, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can get the money, you know. So that's one thing. But, you know, as far as the acting, that's my day job. That's my job for 20-some years. I know how to do that. The directing, that's part of having a great crew, you know. So, you know, I'm if it's my face on it and it's my everything in it, I'm not gonna put out no garbage. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I've proven myself, and maybe it is for some people only in acting, but I've proven myself every time I get in front of people. So for this film to be any different, it's not.
Yeah, because your name attached to it, it's gonna be Black excellence all the way.
Thank you. You know.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But Totally. And so, yeah, I find it very. I just feel like people have excuses for everything. That's all. You know.
I hear you. No, I hear that. And so, how? Well, I guess it leads me to the next question I have. Is there a way, or do you see yourself directing on your show in the future?
I don't know.
That would be dope. I'm gonna say it out there. Shadow, you have. I'm gonna say, Yolonda Ross. I'd love to see her. I'd love to see her name as director on one of the episodes of 2 or 3 or 4 episodes of The Shy. Okay, season 4. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but how was that for you? How did that door open for you to shadow? Is that something you went up to and said, you know what, I want to shadow? How does that happen?
I mean, you know, I've not gone through any of these directors programs. You know that all these different companies have. I work as an actor, so I'm working. And in the art show, I asked our showrunner at the time, and he let me shadow, so I did.
And then, was that like a day or a couple of episodes, or how was that?
No,
how was that experience? Okay.
2 episodes.
Nice.
Okay. And it's fun. It's a fun. It's different probably than like a regular director because you're also still actively acting. So you can't be there from day to night on each episode. But I mean, not episode, but each day of an episode because you have to work yourself. But I did do that, and I don't know if it was just more or less to keep people from. Because we do have a large cast, keep people from feeling any kind of way. Yeah. They didn't use us as directors or having.
Wow. Okay. But do they know with you saying, okay, I'm going to shadow you, I want to follow you? Is that an indication for them to know? Okay, she's interested in directing, or do you have to keep pounding them and say, listen, I want to direct, I want to direct, I want to direct?
You know what? I don't know. I can just ask each season and see.
Okay.
But for us, I know. A lot of times before the season starts, that most of the directors are already chosen for the season. Yeah. But I'm just putting it out there now for season 4.
I'm putting it out there for you too. Listen, we planted the seed now. So then, with season 4, we come back when we have another interview. We're gonna be like, girl, your episode that you directed was off the chain. And I'm gonna be me dancing in the background. I'm so excited. Well, is there a favorite director that you would love to work with that you haven't yet? Because you've worked with some really, actors and people directing behind the camera. Like, you worked with some really great people. Is there someone that you're like, I want to work with this person? They're on my bucket list. I haven't worked with them yet.
You know what? Well, Paul Thomas Anderson has always been, on my bucket list. I can't. Yeah, I'm just kind of going blank. I don't know.
That's okay. I don't
know. I do like the woman, it's a British woman that did. Oh, wait a minute, I do want to work with my friend Alma Harrell. So
okay. Okay. Yeah.
And also Andrea, I can't think. She did. She did 2 movies that I love, and I'm spacing on names.
That's okay.
But I don't know who else. Somebody else, I'm sure.
It's okay. Yeah, it'll come to you. I hear you. Oh my gosh.
You're not helping me, dude.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think. I'm like, but I don't want to answer for you as far as like who you would pick.
She did Fish Tank.
Oh, listen, I can't remember her name, but can I tell you, I love me some Fish Tank. But that movie Fish Tank was so good. I never heard of it, and I was just roaming through something or walking on the street, but I literally saw the poster. I went in the IFC. I remember watching it by myself, and I was like, this movie, like just the journey of the woman, and I don't want to give it away for people.
It's
what
good,
she did,
y'all.
the revenge she had, the way she did the revenge, and the storyline about this woman dancer, like just the thing, it was just so random. I was like, who is this woman trying to do all this dancing? And I just don't want to give it away. But the fact is, I see why you like her, because that movie, really like that movie a lot.
Yeah, no, me too. Wait, did you see this movie, Justine?
No.
Look for that.
I'll put it on my list. Okay.
I randomly saw that movie, and it turns out I actually knew the girl already who did it, and I'm just like, what in the world? I had no idea, you know. That's another one. You'll really like it.
Okay, Justine, I'll put it on there because Fish Tank was like, yeah, oh yeah, because I remember after I saw Fish Tank and I would bring it up and people were like, what? Who? I'm like, it's an independent, but you gotta go. Yeah, so and the soundtrack of that freaking movie. Come on, people. I was like, buy the soundtrack and you'll know why. Like, because I was like, how she know about all these songs? And I was in the movie theater like,
always know.
I was like, wow. I was like, this is a hip hop, you know, whole genre album. Like it was just, yeah. I remember like in the movie theater just bopping my head and I was like, is that Nas?
Yo, you were like,
yeah,
give me your popcorn.
and then and bopping the Nas. I was like, what is going on? Oh my gosh, how's your puppy? How's your dog?
You know what? Any dog you see me with is not mine. I steal people's dogs.
Are you serious?
The little Yorkie, that's my house.
Yes. Really?
That girl, she's my little sister for real.
I can't tell you how I thought that was your dog this whole time. I was like, this dog is so
she
cute.
wakes me up in the morning. She comes in, she like, you know, she get a little excitement shake on. She's so funny. But and then the other one, the Min Pin, that's my nephew dog.
Wow.
That dude is so cool. He's so cool.
Okay, I literally thought this whole time, just with the outfits and then the pictures you take and you walk, I was like, because my mother's like that. We have a huge dog. I mean, we don't have a small dog, but we have a dog. I grew up with a house full of dogs. I love dogs. And my mother's the type that put the damn dog in sweaters and get the nails painted on the dog. No. And I would see you with the dog, and I was like, this is so cute. But I was like, you never struck me as the type to have a dog and you would dress up. But I'm like, my mom does. So that's why I was like, I got to ask about that damn dog because you love this dog. I cannot believe it's not yours.
No, you know what? Like little creatures gravitate to me, and you know, I feel like I must be like half person, half creature or something. Because I just animals, and small children just seem to like me for some reason. So like, okay, I'll take it. Shoot.
Oh my gosh! This is so good to see you. And learn about that. I'm still trying to take that in because I'm just like, this whole time I thought you had a damn dog. But anyway, so the last question I have for you is, for those who are watching, because the reason why I wanted to continue doing these interviews is because I was going around New York City interviewing people on site, and then I had season 2 ready. And then I was like, I couldn't do it because of the damn coronavirus. And then I was like, you know what? Well, let me just continue to do the interviews this way, and I'll call them the Rona editions. And you know, and so that's what I'm calling them. And you know, and a lot of people, were feeling discouraged. So you know, just to have people see, especially in our community, in the arts world, we don't know how it's going to come back. We don't know what's going on. So that's why I wanted to start this. Is there a piece of advice you can give people who are watching of how to stay afloat? I mean, because some days are harder than others. And so, you know, and it's okay to have those days, but is there anything you would say in a form of self-care or in a form of like, keep doing it? Because we don't know what's going to happen when this lifts. So what would you give 1 or 2 things for someone who might be feeling like, oh, what the hell?
No, I feel like, you know, I do know what you mean about the ups and downs, and some days are worse than others, but I guess just taking a quiet time, because I mean, all day can be quiet for some people, but I do feel like for me, connecting with outdoors is a big thing. Just you know, being in some grass, touching a flower, you know, just listening to the air. Just listening to the air is a lot. And rest your body. You know, rest your body. Sit in the shower. Okay, crazy story.
I love that. Tell me. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I do. I'm ready.
I say, you know, sit in the shower. the place that we're renting right now, it only has 2 showers. I thought it had a bath. When you got like 25 hours in the day to sit and do nothing, you got time to sit in the tub. So I was really kind of annoyed not having a bath, and I went on Amazon and I bought one of these chairs, and it's a chair that I don't know what it was called. It's the thing that like elderly people sit in the shower with or get in the shower with. So my friends started calling it my senior citizens chair. So before I got on there, I sat my senior citizens chair after stretching and just had some water. Just
sit,
Yeah. So, just take the time because, like, literally, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
And we're also not really ever afforded time to just do nothing.
That's
Take the
true.
time. Because I know for me, like, my mind doesn't stop, and that's something I have to actively make stop. So that I just settle down, because not everything is working at the same pace it was before, and people are not responding in the same way. Just stop. Learn to stop. Learn to just chill.
So I struggle
that's
with
a
that
hard
sometimes
thing.
too. Yeah, it's a hard thing because I struggle with it too, because it's like sitting down, getting my mind to actively rest and rest my body because.
Actively.
Yes, because it's like, as artists, and I know speaking for myself, I always feel like I have to, especially in New York, I'm hustling, bustling, I'm on the grind. And then as things start to shut down and stop when nothing's happening, I notice that my body, my mind's still doing this, and I'm like, Cherry, where you gotta go? Nothing's open.
Well,
What are you doing? What's going on?
It's
like
crazy at times.
Yeah.
And it's just like that can wear you out. Like the
Yes.
mental, spinning of your mind constantly. It can wear you down. So take the time. Grill, do whatever you can, cook. Do whatever.
I love cooking. I wish I had a grill. Damn it, backyard.
No.
Backyard. I know. Raise the roof of the backyard.
Get a George Foreman. You can do it inside.
I mean, amen.
They
That's a good idea. Okay, just like get my little grill in the corner. Open the window.
Thank you.
Just be by the window, like grilling.
And George and all his George kids will make money off of that. So.
Oh my gosh. And they all named George. Aren't the boys all named George?
Exactly. All his George kids. Yeah.
Ooh. I don't even know. That's a whole other conversation. I'm like, I don't know where his mind was. I'm like, why did you do that? And the women, why did you let him do that? But anyway, that's a whole other, that's a whole other conversation. Anyway, so before we go, I'm so glad we got to do this. I like to ask everybody at the end of each interview about cherry picks. And so, cherry pick could be anything, just for, your fans, for people who are watching or who will watch this later, what they can do, or see or read or go online and see. Do you have a cherry pick?
Yeah, they can see Bull.
Okay, Al, make sure you see Bull on all platforms that we were talking about earlier.
The Shy in June 21st.
Yes, I love that cherry pick. That's a good one. Okay. We got to see what happened to Jada. Yes.
Well, yeah. I definitely have like some fashion ones. My friend Kahindo, she's a Congolese. She's just amazing. Like her clothing. I've been wearing her stuff since I was introduced to her by my stylist in the past named Adrisa, and she got me in the Bazaar magazine, this best dressed for Cannes last year.
Oh,
Cannes, so
Kahindo, I love that.
Kahindo,
okay.
Yeah, and she's in New York City, but she's making masks right now as well. And for each one that you buy to go to, healthcare workers. So her masks are great, and they're made and produced in Africa. So they're really nice.
I'll make sure that I post her, tag her and everything once, because I like to post the cherry pick so people can go back and look at the cherry pick. So I'll make sure she's tagged and everything, because I think that's dope. That's so dope.
And Leon Ferrer.
Ferrer
for real 06. He's
for
real
06. Okay.
Yeah, Ferrer.
Oh, Ferrer. Okay.
Masks, clothing, like he does everything. He used to supply Dapper Dan with leather back in the day.
Oh, Dapper Dan. Okay. Look at you doing
made clothes and stuff together. So
I love that.
yeah, I love both of their items, their clothes.
Okay, all right. Oh, those are good ones. I love that. That's the one thing about the cherry pickers. I like to pay it forward and just make people cross connect. And then I learn stuff too because I'm like, especially with people needing masks right now, that's important for people to know.
Yeah.
And they can go and then it's going to a good cause to the frontline workers. So I want to make sure that people know about them because that's very important. So